Hey there, CJ Math students. So this is the AIMScap, which stands for Concepts and Applications. So it's taking the computation and foundational number fluency skills that we have and trying to put them into practice. So problem like number one will always ask you to put something in order. In this case, it's increasing order. So from least to greatest. Remember, the more negative something is, the smaller it is. So the more negative, the smaller it is. All right, so here we've got two negatives that we can take a look at. It would be really helpful to try and convert all these fractions to decimals. So 9/2 can be converted into a mixed number, and that is really -4 1/2. So we know -9/2 is going to be our smallest number. That's like -4.5, then followed by -1.5. Then we're looking at the positives. Well, we have 3/7, 0.5, and 2.6. 2.6 is obviously going to be our biggest one because it's got the whole number. We could divide 3 and 7 and figure out that that's about 0.42. So you could say, hey, I used a calculator to figure out that this was about 0.42. All I did was hit 3 divided by 7. So 3/7 comes next, and then 0.5. All right, that's it for number one. For a problem like number two, they want you to analyze a graph. So the graph shows the number of lunch items sold at school cafeteria in one day. At this rate, how many slices of pizza will be sold in 4 days? So go to pizza. Here's pizza. In one day, we had 50 slices. So 50 times 4 should give us 200 slices. For number three, super simple. It's a one-step equation. Just divide both sides by 7. You get m is equal to 2. Number four is talking about some units we haven't talked about, where it's asking you kind of to compare the relative size based on units. So of the choices below, which best estimate of the length of a baseball bat? So we have 42 inches, 42 meters, and 42 kilometers. Well, kilometers are like miles, so there's no way a baseball bat is going to be as long as 42 miles. Meters are almost like yards. And you can imagine that 42 meters and yards, that's pretty long, so there's no way a baseball bat's going to be that long. So 42 inches. Right? For number five, complete the sequence. You have to ask yourself, okay, what's the pattern between 6 and 24, 24 and 96, etc. So here I figure out, oh, it's times 4 the whole way. Times 4, times 4. So we just have to do then 384 times 4, and we get 1,536. Right? Comparing fractions when they have the same denominator is super easy. Just look at the numerator, right? Is 2/7 going to be greater than or less than 3/7? Well, obviously 3/7 is going to be greater than. And then is 3/7 going to be greater than or less than 5/7? Obviously 5/7 is going to be greater than. If you didn't have the same denominator, you'd use the butterfly method. You do 2 times 7 is 14, and you're comparing 7 times 3, which is 21. And then 7 times 5, which is 35. And you can see 21 is greater than 14, 35 is greater than 21. Number 7 is all about the associative property. So how could I rewrite 11 plus 6 plus 8 to mean the same thing, 11 plus 6 plus 8? All they did was move the parentheses. So it's just a matter of the associative property. And you could ask yourselves, just to make sure, you say, okay, 11 plus 6 plus 8, that's 14 plus 11, that's 25 on this side. And then when I plugged in 8, did I get 25 on this side? Sure did. Okay. Complete the sequence. We got 0.667, 0.557, 0.447, so it looks like just these guys are going down by 1 every time, so 0.337. Number 9, Richard takes a jelly bean out of at random from a bag containing 8 blue jelly beans and 1 yellow jelly bean. So total, there is 8 plus 1, or 9 total. What is the probability he will take out a blue jelly bean? So blue, there were 8. So it's 8 out of 9. Since there are 8 out of the 9 jelly beans are blue, we wanted to pick what was the probability. We have an 8 in 9 chance of getting one. Which of these values is the least? Again, the more negative you are, the more negative or further to the left you are on the number line, the smaller the number is. So -46 is the smallest. Okay, that's the front side. Back side, number 11. Point Y is at the center of the circle, so right there, center of the circle. Which line segment shows the diameter of the circle? So diameter goes all the way through through the circle and through the center. So it's B to E, segment BE, and you would write that with a line segment over the top. Number 12, it's just a two-step equation, so we subtract 8. We get 5x is equal to 30, divide by 5, get x is equal to 6. Right, which of these values is the greatest? Already we know that negative can't be greater than any positive. We know that this is less than a whole, it's about 0.3. This is also less than a whole because 7 over 7 would be 1. 3/7, if we did it on a calculator, it would be about 0.42. So 6 wholes is the biggest number, right? These two fractions aren't even close to a whole, where this one says I have 6 wholes, right? Number 14, one of the choices, which is the best estimate of the speed of a truck. So kilometers are like miles, meters, like we said, are like yards, and millimeters are super small. They're even smaller than centimeters, so really, really small. So it's not going to go 158 millimeters per hour. That's like the movement of a really, really fast ant. 158 meters per hour, nope. That'd be super slow, so it's like 58 kilometers per hour. It's associated kind of with miles. So, and number 15. So on which day did Andrew reach the office in the shortest amount of time? That's easy. Just go through here, pick out the smallest number. Okay, that's Tuesday. And then how many more minutes did Andrew take to reach the office on Monday than he did Friday? So you want Monday, which is 44, and subtract it from Friday, which is 41. So it's 3 more minutes. Okay. On number 16, we have to write the number that balances the equation. So 13 times 6 times 7 is equal to the same thing as 13 times 6 times 7, right? So, sorry about that. It's, again, just the associative property, right? Number 17, again, is just a two-step. So we add 10 to both sides. We get 6x is equal to 30. And then divide by 6, and we get x is equal to 5. Number 18, write the greatest common factor of these numbers in the blank. So it'd be easy to go ahead and just write these out and then start writing the factors. So you got 1, you got 2, you got 4, you got 5, you got 8, you got 10, you got 20. Then let's go on to 32. You got 1, you got 2, you've got 4, 8, 16, and 30, you got 1, you got 2, you got 5, 6, oops, I forgot 3, my fault, 3, 10, and 15. So it looks like the greatest common factor between these two, as long as I have it correct, looks to be 2, right? Doesn't look like there's any number greater than that, so I'd say 2. Right? And that's how you do AIMScap number level 1.